What's up guys, Kaiju here again with another video, and in this video I'll be comparing the shapes of the NP-01 and the Fantech XD3 V2. If you guys didn't know yet, this is basically an S2 clone, Zowie S2 clone, which is pretty much the inspiration of this mouse. And yeah, it's not exactly the same as the S2 in term. Yeah, it's a bit, if I'm not mistaken, this is a bit bulkier because apparently it is the Fantech S2 clone, right? But it comes from the same factory, or it uses the same mold as the other S2 clones, the OEM S2 clones, the pwnage Sim 1, the Titan, the ironcat, the Rat Talan. Yeah, those mice, the OEM S2 clones. It's the same mold, same shape. I'm not completely sure, but I think I think so, because they look very similar. And according to what people say, like I asked people online, like on Facebook, in Discord, Reddit, and I also use the 3D comparison tool, the shape comparison tool, and yeah, the clone shape is a bit bulkier than the S2. Like, and I'm not gonna be surprised because like the Sim 2, which is like a Viper Mini clone, is bulkier than the actual Viper Mini, and then the Talan Air, which is like a G-Pro Super Light clone, um, it's also bulkier. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually bulky. And I actually saw or heard people, yeah, say, and some even complain that it's bulkier. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, since I have been receiving comments of like my audio not being good, and they can only hear it in like on one side. So I'm recording now using earphones, so hopefully it's going to be, the mic would be better, and it's gonna sound better, and at least, you know it's not gonna sound very well, but at least it's going to sound even. So yeah, anyways, yeah, disclaimer, initially I was really excited to make this video, um but when I was trying to try to tell the difference, I got like, how am I gonna do this? Because they feel similar, yet they feel very different. Like, and I cannot pinpoint that much why they're different or what their differences are. Whoops, I hit my phone. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, I'll just do my best. Okay, so first, like, this thing feels wider and bigger in hand, like right off the bat. Feels wider and bigger on hand. This thing feels narrower, more relaxed, because it's less in your hand compared to this. This thing is really in your hand. This thing is a brick. This is narrower, and then yeah, it's narrower on the sides and this part and on the front, and it's very much narrower on the sides, as you guys can see. This thing is very narrow. This one, still a bit wide. It has some curves, but it's still a bit wide. Um, so in the hump with my objective ruler test, the hump of this one is just a bit more, just a tiny bit higher, but it's noticeable for me. Like, it doesn't look like it's higher, if you look at it like that, or even from the back or whatever. It doesn't look higher, but it feels higher, and with the ruler test, yeah, and it's a bit up here, so this is a bit higher. Sorry for the noises. Okay, so yeah, the main difference for me would be the feeling it gives you because of the hump. So the by looks alone, it already looks narrower, like from the top, right? I hope you guys can see it. Yeah, this thing already looks wide and everything, and yeah, it when you hold it like that, regular claw and whatever palm, it really already fills out more of your hand than this. So the this hump feels more feels pointed, like, how like the XM1R hump is like kind of pyramidal. It's not like the S2 or the ZA or the other humps, which are like flat. The XM1R is a bit pointed, right? This feels very sort of like that. Like, it's just an analogy. I'm not saying it's the same hump, but that's kind of how it feels. It feels like it's pointed and it's going like that, going like that. I think it's made more noticeable because of how narrow it is here. Like, because of how narrow it is on the sides and on the front, it makes the hump feel a bit more pointed, like that. As compared to this thing is just a wide boy. So when you hold your, this doesn't feel pointed as well, because I'm not sure if it's noticeable in the video, but in person, um, the hump here, yeah, it does look a bit more aggressive. It's not as rounded. Yeah, it's kind of pointed. Sorry for my neighbor's dog. I mean, my neighbor's dog is so noisy. Yeah, anyway, the hump of this one feels more rounded, and therefore it feels nicer on the hand for me, or not necessarily nicer, but just less painful. Okay, so yeah, sorry guys, I'm like talking slower, or like it's as if I don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm finding it hard to differentiate them, because and how to make you guys understand or imagine. I feel like even if I try to describe it as best as I can, even if you watch the video, even if I put a long ass video, I feel like the main difference, you'll really notice the difference, is if you actually get to feel it. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to give you an idea. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, that's the core of it. I'll just try to be more detailed. This thing feels bigger and wider everywhere. It feels bigger here at the back, in the middle, and in the front. This thing feels narrower here, here, and here. Same. And yeah, the narrowness feels a bit aggressive compared to this. This thing has curves, comfort curves, but it's still kind of wide. This thing has grooves, which I kind of prefer more in mice because of just what's this? Because it just gives additional control in grip as compared to these, because these have grooves, so it kind of goes in. It's concave. This thing is like, doesn't have grooves. It's actually rounded. It's convex. Um, so yeah. What else? So yeah, when I grab this, like, I try to like relax claw, I run into the problem of this part of my hand, the middle, the knuckle, the MCP. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just ate dinner. The MCP here, the ring finger and the pinky, it's kind of going against this part, and it's kind of painful. And it's weird because you'd think that, hey, it has a narrower hump, this has a wider hump. How come this thing feels weird and more painful as compared to this? What I found, what I'm thinking is because the sides are too narrow. So if you're trying to close it, you end up trying to go like that more with this mouse because it's narrower as compared to this mouse. While it does have a flare here on the side, it's also pretty wide here, right? It's also pretty wide. So even if though it has a flare, it will be easier to close your hand to go like that. It will be easier to go like that because it's wide. Like, as compared to this, it feels more, you have to go like that more. Whereas this, you don't have to go as much because it's already hitting the mouse because it's wider. So in my opinion, this thing is more, what do you call this? This thing is better proportioned than this. So I don't know with the actual S2 because again, it's not the exact same dimensions with this, exact same. It's not. It's just a clone, and they changed it a bit. But between these two, that's like the major difference. Again, the hump really feels more relaxed here, even though it's wider. yeah, so like I said, if I try to relax claw where I try to put my fingers here, like how House Gaming holds his mouse, like here, it's painful. It hurts here because this is going against here. This part is bumping on this part. Even if you try to pincer claw, it's not. It's kind of annoying, and you really feel something, the edge and the ridge going against this part of your hand. As compared to this one, because it is wider, it kind of supports you. It's okay for you to relax claw it like this, or even pincer claw it. This thing is actually a good pincer claw mouse. Like, I have a friend who's a pincer gripper or a palm gripper as well. He's a pincer claw gripper and a palm gripper, and also Bardas reviewed this mouse. You can watch his review. Bardas is a pincer gripper. He likes to hold his mouse like this, I think. So it kind of works well for him. And yeah, based on my experience, it also works better for like pincer grippers. This one. Overall, I think there are more grips that you can do with this one. You can relax claw this. You can aggressive claw this. You can palm it, maybe even fingertip, and you can pincer grip it. You can knuckle claw. My main grip style is knuckle claw, and I really like this mouse. Here, when I try to knuckle claw, it's okay, but after a while, my hand starts to cramp again because of how the hump is. You know, the hump feels more like that, like more rainbowy. So I end up having to go like that more, which kind of cramps my hand. It's the same problem I had with the XM1R. Whereas this one, since it's wide, there's a lot of surface for me to put my knuckles on. And even if you want to regular claw, there's just more contact in your palm. Yeah, it's not as maneuverable. This feels more maneuverable, but this thing feels more comfortable for me. Um, yeah, like I said, if I try to claw this, it kind of cuts here. When I try to claw this, like the contact is pretty much the entire part. Like when I try to claw like that, it's pretty much the entire part. And it's not uncomfortable because of how wide it is. You don't have to force your hand like that. However, one thing that's really good for this mouse that I found out is like an aggressive claw. Like if you really like to curl your fingers, like this, you curl your fingers here, kind of like I think Shroud holds his mouse like that, then it's good. I don't I don't think you're gonna run to the problems that I've been mentioning. If yeah, but if you like to tilt grip, yeah, don't. I think this mouse is really made for like aggressive claw, or maybe not so aggressive, but a grip style where you curl your finger, your pinky and your middle finger, your pinky and your ring finger. Sorry guys, I'm running on like a few hours of sleep only. I've been busy. So yeah, um, that's pretty much it. I legit don't know what else to say. So yeah, this is narrower overall. This is wider overall. I think this is better proportioned, even though it's wider. I think you have more options here, as more options for grip styles in this mouse, which is weird because it's not symmetrical. Uh, the hump of this mouse, is narrower as well, and a bit higher, a bit more prominent, a bit more pointy. As compared to this, the hump of this mouse, is wider. There's more surface area. There's more land area. It feels more relaxed. It feels more comfortable. It feels more like, hey, hold me. As compared to this, hey, I'm gonna go against your hand, right? If you like to relax claw, I feel like you're gonna have a hard time with this mouse. If you like to pincer grip, maybe not. Fingertip, yeah, I think fingertip might be better for this mouse because it's symmetrical. But it's an 86 gram, 83 to 86 gram mouse. So I don't know whether fingertip would be good for it. Palm, maybe if you have smaller hands. Oh yeah, again, I have 19 by 10 cm hands. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. So again, if your grip style and preferences and your hand sizes are different from mine, you might have a different experience. That's why I ended up being hesitant making this video, because it's kind of just like a rambling, very opinionated video, and I don't know whether it will help people. So yeah, I mean, if I missed something, just comment down below. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I'll make a Tagalog version of this anymore. Uh, Guys, kung may tanong na lang kayo, just comment down below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, sub. Peace.